has its Ro-Ro service which is running, sir.
The base price will be what railway would charge for running one freight train. Added to that will be a Ro-Ro cost, which involves basically carrying a loaded truck. So you are adding to something called tare weight, which is just weight of the truck added to instead of the weight of the goods. Will it be a viable proposition?
Sir,
Konkan is doing it, doesn't make it viable.
If you talk about Ro-Ro and Exim, these are 2-3 categories in which there is traffic both ways. Whereas if you, let's say, talk about coal to thermal power plants, there is traffic only one way. So in a Ro-Ro, when I haven't done calculations, but we're just trying to put in some thought here. Since I'll have traffic both ways, I think the costs might be quite sufficing. Like the revenue might suffice the.
Sir, because
cost.
one of the major things we did look at freight was capacity utilization. So we did realize that while some places are over capacity utilized, there are places where there is under capacity. So I guess we are doing Ro-Ro at places to ensure that there is 100% utilization across all freight corridors.
Piyush, please.
In my understanding, we are not dealing with a dead brand. It is one mother of a brand. And when you look at upgrading a brand, you sometimes don't look at just changes. You look at the strengths of the brand on which it stands today. Did you look at it with 14 lakh employees, with the kind of structure, with probably the busiest network in the world? How could we look at it that you could utilize the resources better rather than just going in for repairs, which may or may not be the right answer? Did you look at it from what can I do with what I have rather than go about changing it?
So when we looked at the Indian Railways, when you look at the positive association, affordable was one word that hit us. But the other associations in terms of unhygienic, in terms of, the staff is not friendly, in terms of facilities not being provided, were like major negative moment of truths that an average Indian consumer or commuter or passenger of the Indian Railways was facing.
What is your definition of an average Indian consumer?
So in fact, we did the user segmentation. So we identified 4 types of users. We identified the opportunist, who was actually the AC first AC, second AC tier travelers. But if we have to look at the Indian consumer, it is the comfort seeker and the value seeker, who essentially are your middle class passengers, who travel in, say, from the sleeper class to your AC3 tier. So this is my target group in terms of these are the people whom I'm trying to hit, and this is my average Indian passenger. I
just feel that your target audience definition is very metrocentric, and India lives beyond the metros. You need to look at that. Your definition of average and my definition of average are not in sync.
Okay. On that note, thank you, judges. Thank you, FMS.
When we gave suggestions in both freight and land, we could have backed it up with more financials to actually substantiate what we were trying to say.
That's all we have time for on this week's show. Next week, we'll get you the presentations from our defending champions, IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore.
What are you expecting to achieve with that?
Get the finances to raise capacity.
Is there a demand for more and more or for more and less?
I mean, to show that we have changed.
And of course, we'll have the winners of Lime Season 3. Do join us then, same time, same channel.